ever seen this. Have you ever seen somebody, I saw somebody at the gym who had like these huge, strong arms, and he's been working out, and then I looked and he had these like little, tiny little legs. Have you guys ever seen anything like that? Why do you think that happens? They kind of end up looking like that guy. Whoa! Where like some of their muscles are really strong, and some are really
It's Two-Face.
What happens? How do you think that happens, guys? How does it happen that some muscles are really strong, or like this guy, one muscle, and then some are a little weak? How do you think that happens? How do you think that might have happened? Turn and talk to your neighbor. How do you think that might have happened?
You know that's Two-Face? That is Two-Face, bro.
All right. Okay. How do you think something like that happens, you guys? Chris?
Maybe he worked out his arms.
Yeah, exactly. He was like checking himself in the mirror. His arms looked good, working him out, but his legs weren't doing much, right? Okay, baby.
Noah said that he's only using one arm.
Yeah, he's only kind of using one arm. So I saw that, you guys, and I was kind of thinking of our target that we were working on the past couple weeks. Of what? Can we just go ahead and read that out loud real quick?
I use a
Okay. So this is a target we worked on for a while, you guys. What does that piece variety mean? Can you guys just remind us, what does that mean? Variety. We're using a variety of strategies. What does that mean? Calvin? Yeah, kind of like many strategies, right? And I know it's been a while, you guys, but do you remember last week before break, we noticed when we were finding strategies to find those meanings, there were some strategies that we were using a lot and actually got really good at. Do you guys remember what those strategies were? There's strategies that all of us were feeling pretty confident with. Do you guys remember what they were? And if you're not sure, you guys, I know it's been a while. Take a look up here. Look at those strategies. What were some that we got really strong at? Isaac? Yeah, looking up in the word box, right? If there was a word box there that helped us and gave us a definition, we got really good at using that to understand it. What was another one we got pretty good at? Kimura? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes in the text it gave it to us. We read a word and then it told us the meaning, right? So that was really helpful last week. Okay, however, there were some of them that were really hard for us. There's some that we're getting there, but we were still kind of needed some work on, okay? So here's the thing, you guys. In nonfiction, there's a lot of times we have a word box. A lot of times we have the definition in the text. In fiction, it's not there as often. A lot of times we can't use that strategy because it's not available to us. The author doesn't put a word box in fiction a lot of times, or they don't give you that definition. So we need to make sure, you guys, that we have other strategies to figure those words out. All right? So I'm going to go back to the text we read yesterday, you guys, and I want you to really pay attention. I'm going to try to figure out the meaning of some unknown words. I want you to pay attention to what strategy I'm using. And again, if you're not sure, you guys, they're right here for you to use as a reference, okay? What strategy I use, and then also what do I do if that strategy I'm trying to use doesn't work? Okay, it doesn't always work. What do I do? How do I kind of problem solve that? And then lastly, guys, this one's really important. Once I think I know the meaning, how am I going to figure out and really confirm that it's correct? Okay? All right. So I'm going to go back to the text we read yesterday, the quarterback story. All right. And I'm going to try to find the definition for the word discouraged. So there was a sentence in there that said Jose was discouraged. He told his stepfather that he wanted to go back to his old school. So what does discouraged mean? I can actually see, I see in that word, I see the word courage. I wonder if it has something to do with courage. And also that dis, I know that if you put that before a word like disagreement, means you don't agree. Or if you have a disadvantage, you don't have an advantage. So I wonder, discouraged could mean not having courage. There can be choices here. So I have not brave, excited, upset, and a great athlete. I bet it could mean not brave, because it's discouraged, not having courage. So let me just go back and check and make sure that's correct. So Jose was not brave. He told his stepfather that he wanted to go back to his old school. Wait, why would he not be not brave? Because he wanted to go back to school. That doesn't make sense. That has nothing to really do with bravery. I don't know if that's right. I'm going to actually, I don't think that's right. I wonder, what else could I do to figure it out? I wonder if I can go back. What was going on in that situation? So let me go back to my text here. All right, where's the word discouraged? So he was discouraged because he wanted to go back to his old school. What was going on? Maybe if I read a little bit before that. Let's see. So you can come to practice. We don't have a place for you on the team. Oh yeah, so he just learned he couldn't be on the team. And that if he couldn't be quarterback, he didn't want to play at all. So what was going on? He couldn't be on the team. He couldn't go back to his old school. He couldn't be quarterback. How would he be feeling in that situation? I think, well, he wasn't excited about that.
No.
He wasn't a great athlete. That doesn't really connect with that, yeah. And then that not brave either. I wonder if he was upset. So he was upset because he couldn't go back to his old school. And he was upset because he couldn't play on the team. Yeah, I think upset would be the best choice in that. You guys agree? Okay. What strategies did you guys see me using? What strategy or what strategies? Turn and talk to a neighbor. What strategies did you see me using?
She used word parts and
What do you think?
because she had the before and after. And then she found that he was upset because he learned that he couldn't be on the do
All right. Bum-ba-dum-bum. Okay. What strategy did you see me start with? When I started, what strategy did you see me using? Kimura.
word parts.
Explain that. How was I using word parts?
You wrote courage and
Yeah, I found that word courage in this. Did that work, though?
yes.
Did it work? Did that help me find the meaning? What did I notice once I did that? That was a great way to kind of break it up, but what did I notice? When I plugged it back in, what did I notice, Giovanni?
Once you plugged it back in, you noticed that you eliminated.
Okay, but when I read that with Jose didn't have bravery, he wasn't brave.
Oh.
What did I notice when I did that?
Oh.
Go ahead.
So he doesn't. So he's not brave.
It's okay, Diana.
It didn't make sense.
Yeah, it didn't work. So I started with the strategy. I did those word parts. It didn't make sense in that situation or in that context. So what did you see me do when it didn't work? When it didn't work, you guys, what did I do? What did I try that helped me? Lua?
You tried a different strategy.
I tried a different strategy. I had to try a different one, maybe one that did work. What strategy did I use that second time? Vivi?
Use context clues.
How?
Because you read it before
Mm-hmm.
and after what happened.
Yeah, it was kind of reading before and after it to figure out the situation, right? And sometimes you have to read before, sometimes after. We need to figure out what's going on in that situation, right? Okay. How did I check to make sure it was correct? What did I do when I thought I had the meeting? Bibi?
You looked back at the text.
Yeah, I plugged it back into that text in that situation to see if it made sense in that situation. All right, so let's try that together, you guys. We're going to start with the word sacrifice. So can somebody read that sentence that we found sacrifice in? Can somebody read that out loud for us? Isaac.
Your mother's family is
So right from here.
your mother
All right. Can you go ahead and read our choices? Continue to read our choices as well. Rihanna.
Give things up, put things in bags, make things easier.
Okay. Give me a thumbs up when you think you know what it means. And I want you to think about how you know. What strategy are you using? What clues can you find in that sentence that are going to help you figure that out? Okay, and I'm going to go ahead. You guys, if you would like some more clues, I'm going to give you the sentence above it too. So if you want to use the part above too in the text, you can look back up to that piece too. Give me a thumbs up when you think you could explain what that word means and what clues helped you figure that out. All right, can you please, if you need to scoot around, you can you please find a high five tower of 3? Can you make a high five tower of 3? If you need to scoot, go ahead and scoot on in. High five tower of 3. And look around, you guys. If you see somebody who needs one, invite them in, please. All right. Go ahead and share, you guys. What do you think that word means, and what were your clues to help you find it? How?
Well, I guess sacrifice. I know that's well, I heard it technically with you have to sacrifice because it's really gross, like you know, with dogs and cats. They would say sacrifice something. Or sometimes it kind of means getting rid of it. I know what sacrifice means. Back in the old days. Yeah, somebody is getting because I mean that cat would probably get if you're
All right. Bum ba dum bum bum bum. All right. So what do you guys think? What does that word sacrifice mean in this situation? What do you think it means? Ty?
I think it means giving up, give things up.
Okay, what were your clues in that situation that helped you? What was going on? What was he giving up?
He was giving up playing football.
So he gave up playing football. What else? Jeremiah, do you want to share what else you noticed he gave up?
Moving.
Yeah, he had a move. So when we're talking about sacrificing, right? He had a move. He wasn't able to play football, we read earlier, right? Yeah, so he had to give those things up. Chris?
I think it's give things up because, well, I would say that he was his best friend more.
How?
He said in church that he had that they said that he had to give that sheep to God.
Oh, so you've heard it before. It's having giving something to, okay? So giving that sheep away, giving that up. All right. So 2 strategies we just heard there, you guys. What was the strategy Ty and Jeremiah used? Yeah, Jeremiah.
From the text.
Doing what?
Evidence from the text.
Okay, but what about our strategy for these words? What strategy we're using here? Yeah, those context clues, finding what's going on in that situation, reading around it to figure out what's going on. What strategy did Isaac use, you guys? He said, well, I've heard that word before. I've heard it in church. We had to give up a lamb. What strategy was he using? Eliza?
Background knowledge.
Yeah, that background. Where have you heard it before where it makes sense? So before we go on, you guys, let's just plug it in and check and make sure that makes sense. So your family member is near here too, and we need to give some things up now that your grandma is sick. Does that make sense in the situation? Yeah, so can we be pretty confident that that was correct? Great, you guys. All right, so I'm going to have you guys give this a try. And here's what I'd like you to do. Really push your thinking. Maybe if a strategy that you try first that you're comfortable with doesn't work, try another one, okay? And really be thinking, what are your clues that are going to help you figure those words out, all right? Make sure you're naming your strategy. What strategy works, you guys? And if a strategy didn't work, what should you do? Try another one. Try something else out, okay? And when you come back, you guys, I want you to be prepared to share not only what you think the word means, but what were those clues that helped you get there, and what was the strategy you were trying to work out? So let's get those muscles a little bit stronger with some of those other strategies, okay? Vivi.
So if we get finished, those same spots are for words that we
If you get finished, there are directions on the bottom for you, okay? Great question. All right, can I have a couple people help me pass out? Can I have everybody else go to your seat and get a pencil and get started? And you will need your text from yesterday, you guys. You need to have your text out. All right, Elijah, can you help us out? Thank you.
I don't have one. The different birds? Oh, I thought you were saying